Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel today. Let's discuss how there are a lot of connections on the Delor Quest book series, but specifically the Lake of Tears book. So let's get into it. So in From, Ethan is the only character, and Elgin as well, that talk about the lake, but specifically Ethan talks about the Lake of Tears. He says in episode 1 of the first season, while playing with his figurines with Julie, Norman is one of the fingers monsters that Julie has, and she says that he won't make it to the Lake of Tears because he is dying, and that the monsters have gotten him, and he does die, but Ethan says that the fairies are coming from the Lake of Tears, so they have to bring him back. And then in the next episode, he says that he saw it. He saw the Lake of Tears, and he says that it was a drawing on the wall, and he says that they are actually a lot of drawings on the wall, and him and his whole family were in them. But the dream ends with a giant spider coming down from the ceiling and someone screaming. And then a few episodes later, we can actually see some drawings depicting exactly what Ethan had dreamt about. And the writers talked about how the biggest clues that we could find about the show were in the very first episode. So could this be it? But there is a lake in the show that we see a couple times. There is one behind Catalina house, and there is one in the area where they find the food in season 3. But the one behind Catalina house actually gets brought up by Elgin, and he asks Fatima if there's a lake or pond around, and Fatima brings him to the Brundles, and he asks her why it's called the Brundles, but she says that it had the name even before she got there. So maybe these could be the Lake of Tears, but the lake could also just be a lake only in name. But what even is the Lake of Tears, and why do I think this book series has a connection? Well, in the series Delor Quest, it's about a group of people trying to collect gemstones to restore the magical belt of Deltora, and that belt keeps the Shadow Lord at bay so he doesn't invade. And the Shadow Lord is also the main villain of the series. And before I go any further, I wanted to say that this could be where they took the inspiration from of the main entity, maybe, but I want to know what y'all think after I finish the rest of the theory. But back to the book series. In the book, the Shadow Lord rules over the land, the Shadowlands, which was used to be known as Pyrrha. And also the Shadow Lord has taken control of some of the main characters' lands. But in the Lake of Tears book, the main characters are trying to find another gemstone, and this one is a ruby, and they think that they can find it inside or at the Lake of Tears. But they quickly figure out that the land around the lake is guarded by a evil sorceress named Thagan. It says that she also has 13 monstrous children, but the Lake of Tears used to be a city known as Dor, but the sorceress Thagan put a spell on it, turning it into the Lake of Tears. So could the entire town in From also be kind of like in a similar position where it used to be like a normal town, and whatever is taking over the place has put like a spell on it to make it is what it is now? And also Thagan could probably represent what we see in From as the kimono lady. And also, if you've seen my earlier video that I talked about like a couple days ago, I talked about how she could be a ubume from Japanese folklore, and in the folklore it talks about how that they are always seen or around a body of water. So I'm thinking that this could hold some type of merit to what the kimono lady actually is or is trying to do. But I will say in the book they don't mention anything about spiders that guard the lake, but instead it is a giant fish, and it has a name. The name of it is Soldine. So maybe the place Boyd and Sarah went to in that one episode in season 2, maybe they were close to the Lake of Tears, but instead of a fish it was just a spider guarding it. Because like I said earlier, it could just be a lake only in name and not like an actual lake. But as for the gemstones that they are trying to collect in the book, there are 7 of them, and they already had one before visiting the Lake of Tears. So in From, we know that there are 7 children as well, and from what it seems, the children might be the key on how they escape the town, but we might not know that for sure, so let's just wait until season 4. Or maybe the gemstones that they find in the books could also be a weapon in the TV show of From that they use in the town. I mean, it probably wouldn't be 7 weapons, but it could just be like one that they find in the Lake of Tears, because Ethan seems to be mentioning a lot, at least in the first season. So maybe if they do go visit that lake, they will find some type of weapon at the bottom of it. So maybe the kimono lady could actually lead them to that stronger talisman or whatever it could be. Like I said, maybe a weapon of some sorts, Also, real quick, Ethan talks about seeing a bunch of pictures and his family in the pictures as well. So are the pictures that Victor and Miranda that they've been drawing, are they like depictions of the future and visions of the past? Because Miranda sees a lot of old-timey stuff in her drawings that you can see, but also in her drawings you can see this picture here of that shadow man or shadow lord that we talked about from the book. There's a lot of drawings of a dark shadowy figure that we can see throughout from. So yeah, let me know what you guys specifically think about that. But in the series, after they take the gemstone and take out the sorceress, all of her spells are broken and the city reverts back to the city, and it's no longer the Lake of Tears. So maybe if they were to do that in the show, the town would go back to what it normally was. But as always, this is just a theory and it could be completely off. Seems like they took a lot of inspiration from a lot of different books and folklore throughout all of the shows, so we never really know. But maybe this is exactly it and it's just their own version of it. But let me know what you guys think, and thank you for watching. And if you liked the video, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. And thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.